Good evening, everyone.
Oh, can you see me? It's not that. Kind of. Let me see if I can.
Hey, Alejandro.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you? Hey, Miss Boyd, how you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Good.
Trying to bring the screen up a little bit so I can. Oh, there I am. Oh, it was there for a minute. And I got my little grandson with me today.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hey. Hi, how are you?
Say fine.
Fine.
Good. Thanks for coming.
Okay. How's this here?
You might have a busy crowd today, huh? It's gonna be
Fun.
I don't know about that. He said it's gonna be fun. I don't know about that.
I'm hoping everyone brought their best behavior this evening.
We're gonna try to be good. We're gonna try to be good, but he wants to have fun. And we only know one way to do that.
Good fun, Miss Boyd. Good fun. Good fun. We all for good fun.
Some people are like, them screens are not on, right?
Yeah, well, some people want to hide. That's all. It's okay.
Or maybe.
Oh, do you see Miss Maxine?
Yeah.
Say hi, Miss Maxine.
Hi.
Say hi, Miss Maxine.
Hi.
You see Julia? Say hi. Julia.
Hi. You both on mute.
I tell you, that's that damn school. Okay, let's see how many people we can get in. We're in the view.
Let's count how many.
Yeah, let's count together. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
16.
16.
And what does that say? What number sound?
Oh my, 17.
17. And here comes Pat with 17. So right. So then
this someone give me this.
Show and tell. Show and tell. So there's 17 people, right?
Wait.
And that's the chairperson. Her name is Pat.
Yeah. Pat. Why didn't change? Because someone's here.
Right, because there's 17 people. Now there's 18.
How many?
Well, we're gonna find out.
We can get to 100.
You think it's gonna get to 100? Okay.
I thought a screen will be like covered, right? In dark, right?
Yeah, you got it pretty dark.
No, I thought a face would be dark, right, Mama?
Mm-hmm.
Like this.
Okay, so that.
Right, Mama?
Mm-hmm.
Like this. A face like this.
Okay, I think we're good. We're good.
Mama, this. Don't mute.
Do you have to go to the bathroom?
No. You just shake it for no reason.
Oh, y'all see.
You're excited. You're excited. You're zooming.
Because you know when little kids shake, you know it's normally more about that. Oh, I gotta go.
That's the bathroom.
You sure you want to go?
No. I'm just having a side day.
Hi, Chair. This is Ethan. I just wanted to introduce myself before the meeting got started. I'm Ethan from the Brooklyn Botanic Garden. I'm our head of government and community affairs. So I'm here to answer any questions anyone may have that we could provide info on. So just wanted to say hello before we got started.
Thank you for that, Ethan. I appreciate that. This is Mia from CB9. If anyone has any questions for Ethan, just so that we keep a bit of order in the meeting, drop them in the chat so that we can see. And I guess, Ethan, you can answer questions as you go along, just so that the chair can keep the meeting moving. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So hold on, how is Miss Pinkerton? So hold on, how is she in the meeting? Is she connected through her audio is the issue? It's the, Miss Pinkerton, if you can hear me, it's the same call-in number for all of our Zoom meetings. It's the same 876 number for all of the CB9 board meetings, committee meetings. That number we do not change.
Why in the
Perhaps, Miss Pinkerton, are you dialing the one? The one before the number? Khalid, I'm gonna try the number as well for my phone while I'm sitting here.
you want second? Type something.
No. This is public, no. So now, how many people?
33.
That's 33.
Good evening, everyone. How are you? I know you can't answer me because you're on mute.
Hey, Miss Moses.
How y'all doing? I'm gonna wait another like 5 or so minutes so people can come in. Because
Okay.
there's still some missing people.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Miss Pinkerton, if you can hear me, there's another attendee connected by phone. So there isn't an issue with the phone. And this is the same number that is used for all, call-in number name for all, used for all CB9 committee meetings. The 1-646-876-9923. That is the dedicated number for CB9 Zoom meetings. or disconnected, so it keeps the next thing without any sound coming from it, so I can hear you.
I see Nolan, he's there. Nolan, we can start the meeting. It is what, 7:05? I don't know how we're gonna get everybody's name. How will we get everybody's name? I don't know how we would do that. It's a lot of people here.
It'll take half the meeting. It's a 59 and counting.
Oh, 59 count. Okay, so we would probably be able to get that list like later on. Is that how that works? Or we just wouldn't know?
Yes, we'll receive.
Take your iPhone and take a photo shot of the screen underground review.
Yeah, I'll do, if people's names are visible, I'll write them down, but if your name on Zoom is different
It's
than
gonna
that,
be,
if you put it in the chat, I'll record it.
Right.
Yeah, that it would, if everybody just introduces themselves in the chat, then we would have the record of it, right?
Thanks, Rich. Right.
so, okay, so what are you saying to do now, Nolan?
I think Esteban is suggesting that everyone just put their name in the chat so we have a record of it, and then we can get that into the minutes.
You can also pull the attendee list from Zoom after a meeting's ended.
Yeah.
So there's a way to do that without needing everybody to pop in the chat.
Yep.
Okay, so okay, y'all have to help me out. So we have to know which way we're gonna do this now, so that we're not gonna
People
put it in
started
the chat.
already doing people already
They're
started on
already
the
put it in the
chat.
chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're gonna go ahead and put in a check, that's
Okay.
fine. I'll get the listing after I'll get the notes after. It'll automatically pop
Right,
up.
I think that would be easier.
Not
There's
put over
like
to
60
Nolan.
people here, you know?
Yeah, it's fine. Got it.
Okay, got it. Right, so anyway, we can open up, we already opened up the meeting. I just want to welcome all the committee members and also the guests. I'm not sure, I can't see everybody, but welcome anyhow. So we're going to just go right into, well, at this point, people are basically muted. However, when you're going to say something and you want to speak, I guess you put it in the chat. Am I correct?
Khalid and I are here. We can people can go ahead and use the raise hand function.
Okay.
Khalid and I both are here, so we can just run the list.
Okay, now the people on iPhone, how do they do that? Because they're on iPhone. I mean, they're on.
I get. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few people that are actually have called, and they just have to, I guess, make themselves known.
Okay. Okay, great. We can start then. So we're going to first start with old business. We had we had construction concerns at 1035 Washington Avenue. That was on the neighboring property of 1 Sullivan Place. It's my understanding that at this point, everything is at a standstill. It's my understanding that an audit was done on October 19th for job numbers 340, 761, 866, and 340, 720, 839. It's my understanding that they failed their audit and that the borough commissioner has revoked both permits. So that's where we are thus far. Anybody want to say anything from 10? I think it's
Just
10:35.
well done, everyone. Well done.
Okay, so we're pretty good with that. So we can move on to the next.
I would like to just
Okay, go ahead.
thank Ms. Hilton for doing the inquiry on behalf of the community board and on behalf of the residents in 1035. And because of that inquiry, their permits have been revoked. So again, thank you, Ms. Hilton. We do appreciate all the support that you are giving the community here in CB9.
Oh, thanks, Ms. Boyd. Also, Ms. Moses, I wanted to add, I reached out again to Damaris Valero, our DOB liaison, just to see if she can give us the justification for which, the reasoning for why the permits were revoked, so that we can be on the lookout for the resubmission, what we should be looking for when they resubmit additional plans for the site.
Because we don't really even know why they failed the audit. They just say they failed the audit.
Yes, it could have been it could have been what we raised as well as additional issues. So.
Right. So we'll keep track of that. Next on the agenda is we want to know what's going on with the court case. I guess that's Alicia at 54 and 40 Crown Street.
Regarding that particular, for people who may be new to understanding that, there were 2 major development projects being proposed. One was with the Cornell Realty, which was a smaller development project that was right next to the continuing project that is underneath the Fight for Sunlight. We have been in court with the smaller development because it did pass the ULURP process and was entered into law. Currently, we are back in court December the 4th, I believe, on 2 sanctions motions because they violated the temporary restraining order and was attempting to pour the cement on the foundations in violation of our temporary restraining order, and a sanctions motion against the attorneys for misleading the court in directing a witness not to show up. So that particular lawsuit is still ongoing, and it is in front of Judge Bodie.
Okay, so you're saying December 4th is your new court date, right?
Yes, it will be a virtual court date. This lawsuit was very important because it broke the community plan of 1991 that protected the Brooklyn Botanic Gardens along the perimeter. They used a smaller site to justify the breaking of the plan, but they did not do a proper environmental impact analysis, and that's why we took them to court.
Okay, so
I think it's December 3rd.
Oh, okay. Thank you, LaShawn.
Yeah.
December the 3rd. It is a virtual meeting. If you are not on our email list, I'm gonna put our email list in if you want to cover that. I will put our email list on to the chat.
Do that, yes. Okay, thank you. We also have on the agenda the site draft environmental impact statement for 960 Franklin Avenue. And I believe that's still pending. Am I correct?
Yeah.
That's still pending.
No response from DCP whatsoever to all correspondence disseminated by the board. 0.
Okay.
Hi, this is Nicola. What about our invitation to the developer?
Crickets.
Okay.
Did you think otherwise?
Whoa. Can we go by the agenda and then we are gonna have time for comments?
Oh, I didn't know.
I don't wanna go ahead of it. I get all confused here. You will have time to raise your concerns. Let's just take care of this. Now before we go into, because I think that's gonna be a topic for everybody. Before we go into 960 Franklin Avenue, the rezoning project, let's go into the Bedford Union Armory site. Now, I wasn't really that aware of what happened. Evidently, there was some problems with contamination. And I'm not sure when that took place, but they said that has been resolved. Does anybody, so everybody have that information?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't receive, well, we didn't receive any additional information on the site. There was, what is it, asbestos? I believe it was.
I'm not sure. I wasn't sharing it, but evidently there was some issues around the contamination for the Bedford Avenue site.
Yeah.
And I I think you had sent a little notice out to us that I don't know exactly why we're involved.
Yeah, I think this was over a year and a half ago that this was circulated, that this project was going to be initiated to do some type of cleanup.
Hi, this is Warren. How's everybody? This was about contamination.
Yes.
And I believe that I did see an email from whatever agency is involved, New York City agency, saying that the contamination has been resolved. What I'll do is that tomorrow I'll dig out that email and send it to everybody. And that way we can see what was going on. My impression is that it was probably asbestos, and according to the city authorities, they have contained it. But let's take a second look.
Yeah, it was asbestos, but I was trying to figure out why we were involved. Why wasn't the environmental committee?
No, we as a board were involved, and it was reported back to us. In terms of the environmental committee, I don't think this was raised probably about 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. So we'll have to take a look and then report to everybody.
Okay, so in any event, it's been resolved thus far.
Hopefully.
So you're looking to see, I don't know how like this committee got involved in it, so we got the information, but.
No, it was just brought, this committee's only involvement was that the question was raised.
Okay.
So I'm just answering that.
Great. Okay, so now we can move into the big topic, which is 960 Franklin Avenue rezoning project. At our last meeting, which was in October, I think a letter was supposed to go out. And was it 3 motions? Am I correct? Nolan, it was 3 motions. Am I correct? Do you remember what the motions were?
Let me bring
You can read them.
Sorry, I'm just bringing them up now.
Okay.
Okay, so the 3 items were requesting confirmation that Community Board 9 was invited to the EIS scoping meeting as required in the city charter. The second item was asking for copies of the revised application that was submitted to city planning, which we have not received yet, as Mia indicated. And then also the final scope of work and environmental impact statement, which we have also not received.
Okay. It's my understanding that a letter was sent out by our Community Board 9 chairperson, Fred Baptiste. It was sent out, I believe, today. Am I correct?
Yes, I believe he sent out the correspondence today. Additional correspondence had to be drafted because we discovered that an additional amended application had been submitted by the developers on Friday.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I just happened to be on the ZAP portal and saw the new alert and saw the new posting for the amended application.
Okay. So the amended application was amended on 4/30/2020. Am I correct?
Yes.
9/22/2020 and November 6th, 2020.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know about that one, but okay, it's in the letter. So that's pending right now. So I'm going to open it up for, I'm going to open up the floor for questions, discussion.
So, sorry, Pat, can I just ask, in theory, right, with all the new stuff that's in the city charter, does this mean that technically, now not sure what they're going to do, but if they've revised the proposal, does that technically mean we should then have, is it 30 days from that time before the certification process?
Yeah, that is in the letter. I saw a copy of the letter, and that was requested in the letter.
Okay.
To have an additional 30 days. I think that was also discussed at our October meeting. But
right.
I did see it. So I guess we'll just be waiting. And for those people, because it's like 73 people, what's happening now is that we're into a pre-certification process for 960. And what was in question was, I guess, the New York City Charter Amendment. And that requires the delivery of an application summary at least 30 days before the application is certified, and the posting of the summary on the department website. Now, there was something posted on the department website, I can tell you that. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be the summary or not, because it was not really detailed. And so I just found out, I guess, with the rest of you, that the application again has been revised. So I'm going to, this is to the members right now. I'm going to open up the floor to the members that would like to speak, and then we can have the community second.
Hi, this is Warren. For those of you who are on, I am the first vice chair of the board, as well as the co-chair of the ULURP committee. Thank you, Pat, for her good work. We are very, very concerned about this. And I know Alicia Boyd has filed a lawsuit in this area, which is something a community board cannot do. But as important, and in conjunction with Ms. Boyd, we are on top of this. And our objective in this case is to make sure that our community receives all the information in terms of any amendments and has 30 days prior to the certification date to look at it. As to whether that will happen, experientially, I don't have a great feel for it, but I will tell you we are working very hard, and I think that Fred Baptiste's letter as chair really detailed the information. So thank you.
Right. Now, I realize that there's like 73 participants. I just want the board the committee members just to introduce themselves, if you don't mind. So that everybody, because they can't see 73 people, but if they can see your face, if you would put it up there, you know, if you just say your name and you've been like
Hi,
2 years. You can start it off.
this is Esteban Huron. I have been a member of this committee for about 5 years, and I can hand it off to Nolan.
Hi, everyone. My name's Nolan Levinson. This is my second year on the ULURP committee. I'll hand it off to Erin.
Hi, everyone. I'm Erin Brown. I'm a member of Community Board 9, and this is my first year on the ULURP committee. And I joined CB9 because I wanted to be part of the ULURP process. So I'm very happy to be here. Suki.
Hi, I'm Suki. I've been a member of the ULURP committee for, I think, about 4. So it's great to work with you guys again.
Hi, this is Nicola Cox. I am a community member of the ULURP committee, and I believe I've been a member for about 4 years, 4 or 5 years as well.
I'll jump in. This is John Craver. I am a community member of the ULURP committee as well, and I am brand new. It's my second month, I think, on this, being involved with it. So very excited to be here.
Warren.
Hi, I'm Warren Burke. I've been on the community board for about 5 or 6 years, and I've been on the ULURP committee for the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay, and my name is Pat Moses. I'm the chair of the committee. I've been on this committee, I guess, for about 4 or 5 years. Is that all the members? Okay. Okay, so if I'm talking right now to the members. If you want to say something in reference to where we are.
Okay, I can go ahead just to have something on the record. So yeah, I just want to, I guess I want to get a sense of how we're going to proceed since we're not getting the things that we're asking for. Do we want to, obviously there's a lawsuit. Hopefully that temporary restraining order is granted. And if there's anything that folks can do to encourage that, in a little bit, maybe Alicia can speak to that. But in terms of how we proceed, like I don't think that we need to act as though this is getting certified. Even if they do certify it, I don't think that we've been given any of the stuff that we need to get. And I think that our posture needs to be like, we're ready to start the process when you're ready to share this information. If we don't do they, I mean, Department of City Planning and the developer. I mean, this is, you know, at the scoping hearing, the developer told us that they were going to have a very well thought out effort to reach the community, to talk to us, to determine why it was that we were not in favor of this project. And not only have we not heard from them, but they've actively sought to shut us down at every turn. So, you know, I don't think that anything happening now is happening in good faith. And I think that we did everything that we've been able to do to do that. So I just want to make sure that we're not dragged along in their process when they're not giving us the process that we're supposed to have.
Well, I can tell you that I mean, I guess I got a little confused. I didn't know who was supposed to contact the developer to come in for a presentation. I'm not sure it was supposed to be me or.
I reached out, Ms. Moses. I reached out.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. Also, Walter Mosley was here, and he's working with them directly, so he should have probably announced it to them.
Right, but I'm just saying from as a committee.
Oh, yeah. Right.
We was going to reach out, and I'm assuming that because they're not really, and I'm just guessing, I don't really know, because they're not really certified, and because once they're certified, it's kind of like standard, but in the pre-certification, they are just really completing the application to make sure it's all accurate. Any other members want to say?
Yeah, it's Erin.
Erin.
So, again, I'm new here, and tell me if this is off base, but it seems like if we're not getting the answers that we want from a city, a city to like the planning commission, as well as with the developer, would it behoove us to, essentially like make this known in the press? Like, there's plenty of local media that is actively interested and engaged in this story. I'm curious if it, it's even worth it for like a call to ask the mayor on Brian Lair on Friday mornings, or, pinging somebody at Gothamist to kind of say like, hey, this big developer that's trying to rezone Crown Heights isn't even playing ball with the community board after the city voted to change the charter.
No, you cannot say that because they haven't said anything like that to us. What we were basically dealing with was at this point, the city. Okay, the developer hasn't said anything to us.
Right, but if the city department's not playing ball, if they're not showing up with the documents that we need.
No, they made it, I think they made it clear to us before that they weren't going to release, they weren't, that was all they were going to release to us. And what we did was a follow-up letter to them. In other words, they said that they were not going to release any revised application to us. They said that we also had, I think from November of last year, that we had the package. And so we don't, the problem is we don't know what the revisions are. And they made it clear that they were not going to release that to us. And this is the city.
Right.
And so that's why we had the letter written.
Right.
The developer could have made those documents available to us whether or not the city decided to do so or not. So that's, I mean, I think that we can assume that the city is doing what the developer is asking them to do.
Yeah. Esteban, it's Warren and Aaron. Let me make this really clear, okay? The board's position is that we do not want certification to begin until 30 days after we get the information. So I think that's been carried out. I think the board has followed up appropriately. And as to the way the city acts, we all know that, okay? And as to stifling information, yeah. But we're making every effort. We've made sure, and this was Fred Baptiste's insistence, that all of our elected officials, no matter what we think of them, are on the letter so they can be involved. But as far as we're concerned, we carried out appropriately the good input from this last meeting. So once again, our position is very simple.
Right.
We do not want certification to begin until 30 days after we receive the information. And Erwin, in terms of you bringing in the press and everything, those are very good ideas and something that can be done later on down the line. I think Alicia Boyd has started that process by having a press conference today. So let's see what happens. But as far as the board goes, we have to keep on the straight and narrow until we receive information. Thank you.
And in all fairness, if the letter just went out today, November 10th, we do need to give them time to respond. So you don't want to jump the broom and we haven't gotten a response. We just sent the letter out today.
Okay.
So are they still?
We don't want to move ahead of what we have.
That's fine. Are they still anticipating certifying this on Friday then? That's my question, is like, if we and again, pardon me if I'm jumping the gun here, but if we are waiting for them to come to us with the documents that it's very clear that they don't want to produce,
I don't want to say
to then get on our timeline of 30 days from when they give us the documents. But if they're still planning on certifying this on Friday and we don't do anything, what happens is my question.
Nothing, because at the end of the day, we have, listen, once they're certified, that's when our time counts down. We have 60 days to do our our public hearing.
Yeah, but this is Nicola. The whole point of getting access to the documents prior to certification is the fact that once the application is certified, basically they never make any real changes. So if we want to have any kind of input to the application, community benefits, any environmental and other impacts to the community, we have to be able to see the application prior to certification so that we can weigh in with our concerns. Afterwards, it's a moot point. They're not going to do much with our input. It's basically a ceremonial process as far as I'm concerned after the certification.
Well, this is my understanding of what pre-certification is. My understanding is a pre-certification for the land review, the application is to ensure that the application is completed and technically accurate. That's what that is. That's why they do pre. And in part 2 of it is the environmental review, and the purpose is to disclose and analyze potential impacts that the development proposal may trigger. Now that's what that is. Once it is certified, they still have to go through the public. We have a public hearing.
Mm-hmm. But when you look at, because I went back and I knew that we were having issues and concerns about the pre-certification, so I went back and looked at the minutes from the hearings for the review process when we were looking at updating the city charter. And the concern was the fact that the community developers and DCP and other city agencies can take years to develop an application, and the community is in the dark about what happens. We have no insight, we have no input until all the deals are signed, sealed, and delivered. And so pre-certification was supposed to help give us some transparency and give us some insights into what's going on, even if it was just 30 days before final certification. And we don't even have that right now. So that's the problem. Once we start the ULURP process, it's going to be very difficult to get DCP to open up and have any additional considerations because they've already signed off on the document.
Hey, Nicola, it's Warren. What do you suggest we do that we haven't done?
I think that we've done what we can do. I think raising the concern to other communities and raising it to the press is, basically giving the power to the people, as we've been doing over the last few months with the general elections and other things. It's putting the pressure on DCP, putting the pressure on our elected officials to really deliver what was meant and intended with the review process and the updates to the city charter.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree with both of you totally, but the community board as an organization cannot do that because it'll be the city suing the city. You're doing this and that.
No, I know. That's why I'm not saying that we should sue.
But you as residents, just hold on, are free to do that.
Right. Right. And all I'm saying is that we continue to shine light because this particular aspect of the city charter just went into effect the end of August. So we're probably one of the first new projects that are going through this process. And so we're setting precedent. If we allow this to happen and we get trampled over and there's no real pre-certification process for us, then DCP is going to continue to roll on through with other rezonings that are happening.
Well, this is what I still say that we have to get a response back from the letter that we just sent out today. Mm-hmm. As a board member, I'm not willing to say, let's contact the papers to say what?
I mean, to say that the citizens of New York City voted to change the city charter so that community boards and communities could have a greater say in the pre-certification process. It is clear from what has happened in this instance with this development that is not happening. And our elected officials need to be held responsible for the changes that the citizens of New York City have made so that they can be involved in things that matter in their communities. I don't know if
Aaron.
it, like, I don't know if it needs to
Okay,
come
and
from-
I hear you. I just think we have two different meetings in my head what pre-certification is. And maybe somebody can please me when something is certified. It's just gathering information. It doesn't mean that it stands here, there, or indifferent. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not, and I'm saying that you could do it as an individual, whatever you want to do. But my point is, what that is so they get everything together. Once it's certified, that means that they're telling us this is exactly what they're going to do. When it's pre-certified,
we can make
they haven't gotten the whole package together the way they are going to do the presentation to the community. Now that's what it is. So you could jump and say this and that and the other. And the second thing is, I don't think, because I know I haven't even heard they haven't did a presentation to us, period. Was it 960? They haven't done a presentation, and that would be our next step, is for them to do a presentation to us, if they so choose to. If not, and they want to do the presentation, I guess they could do it at the public hearing.
I don't really need a presentation. I need the application. The presentation will be a watered down version of the application.
Yeah,
no, they don't have, no, what I'm saying to you, yeah, but let me finish. And then
Warren, 1 second, Nicole is speaking.
Let me finish. What I'm saying to you is this. If they want to do a presentation to us, they can. They don't technically have to.
Right.
They can do that at the public session. Okay, go ahead, Warren.
If I may for a second, my name is Alejandra. I'm the Housing Committee Chair. So what I'm getting from everybody is there's extreme frustration with DCP and not have basically it being a black box and nobody's getting anything, which is unacceptable. Concerning what the changes to the ULURP process and the city charter, they don't have to give us anything until technically to comply with the city charter 30 days before the certification. We don't know when they're going to certify. They could be we don't know what the revisions are. We don't know anything. So it could be another few weeks, it could be another few months before they even get to the point of certification. And I think there's a fundamental understanding what the certification process ultimately is. It's a technical aspect, like as Ms. Moses said. Ultimately, all it does is make sure that it's technically compliant. Whether or not it's a right or wrong decision for a community, that's up to the community board and us, and that's up to the political representation in city council. And that's where we're supposed to have our voice. And I understand the frustration that we want to make sure that there's changes before the certification, but that's not what the ULURP process or the city charter revisions did. It gave us a process to have more time to review it 30 days beforehand. Ultimately, we don't have any real mechanism other than press, community organizing to be able to actually push them to change the project. But ultimately, there is no real leverage to change the process. I think it's pretty much across the board, nobody is in support of this project. I think it's pretty unanimous, everybody's against. And I
wouldn't say that, because first of all, you can't be for or against unless you know what you for or against with. So you have to hear from the developer before you can say yes or no.
All right. Well,
we did have a vote
personally.
on this project. I mean, we had a vote on this project. And Alejandra, just so you know, it's the 16th is actually when they're saying they're going to certify. So they've already said like for sure that they're certifying. So that's what we're concerned about. Is like that.
And that would be a grounds for lawsuit that they didn't comply with the city charter. And if they're not crossing their T's and dotting their I's, and I'm an attorney by day, like that's a grounds to get this certification process stricken. So if they're making these kinds of mistakes, like that's just sloppy on their part.
Yeah.
Well, That's the date that they, tentative date that they gave us. So,
Right.
but
So
that's where we are now. It's a tentative date. It's not a week. It's definitely going to be on November 16th. That's not what they're saying. It's a tentative date. Anyone else from the committee want to say anything?
I've been having some computer problems today. Was the copy of the letter that Fred sent out today, was that sent to everyone on the committee?
no, not as yet. I can distribute it right after the meeting, Nicola.
Oh, great, thank you.
No worries.
So we've done our best and we will still move on. And when it comes to, I'm sorry, Alicia, want to say something?
Yes, it would be nice because I'm hearing a lot of things. And so we just need to make sure that we understand really clearly. Can you stop? Okay. So what we really need to understand is this, okay? The city charter revision demanded at a detailed summary, substantially consistent with the certified application has to be produced to the community before 30 days before they plan on certifying an application. They sent that notice. They stated on October the 16th that they were going to certify the application on November the 16th. However, they did not remit that summary, detailed summary. And on top of that, CB9 had foiled, which is a Freedom of Information request for these documents way back in February, when the committee asked CB9 to foil for the documents, and the Department of City Planning violated the Freedom of Information law and has extended that request for almost a year. All readily available documents must be available to the public 20 days after a FOIL request is submitted, not a year. So and I personally submitted a FOIL request for the documents December of 2019.
What documents?
Asking for the environmental impact. I asked for the memos. I asked for all of the applications. I asked for the studies. I asked for everything that's connected to this rezoning. Because what we must understand, and this is really important, that you must get ahead of the game if you're going to do anything about this application. Everybody telling you wait until the ULURP process, they're telling you a lie. The power is before a ULURP process begins, not after. And so we wanted these documents so that we can study them, so we can have experts analyze them, so we could push back against the city. The city refused to give us those documents. So our due process rights have been violated because the community has the right to review all public documents, whether they are certified or not certified. The moment that a FOIL was submitted to the Department of City Planning, they were supposed to comply within 20 days. So as a result, we filed the lawsuit. Thank you very much. So everybody talking about filing lawsuits, we filed the lawsuit. Everybody hello. We don't play here, okay? We filed the lawsuit without any help from BBG, who was telling everybody, wait until the application is certified, which is when it's already done and you can't do anything about it, except go to a hearing and yell and they ignore you. Okay, we filed the lawsuit, and today there is now a temporary restraining order, and there will be no certification on the 6th, November 16th, okay? Certification. So everybody give up a hand to the members of MTOP, okay? Because we don't play. We don't play.
I'm gonna listen to Alicia.
So what we're asking for people
Alicia, ho.
The members of Flower Lovers Against Corruption and the members of MTOP, the Movement to Protect the People. So we worked for the last 20 days, gathering up evidence, gathering up our FOILs, and we worked our damnedest to make sure that this lawsuit was filed before the 16th, and the judge agreed with us. You cannot start a ULURP process and you violated the law. The city charter regulations demands a detailed summary, not a sentence. They referred us to a sentence with one period and said, that's your detailed summary. No. And the courts agreed with us. There is a temporary restraining order. We do not know when we're going back, but we hope that we will finally get some support from BBG, who has not given us any support, who refuses to meet with us, who refuses to sit there and do anything with us, and keeps telling the community, wait until after the rezoning is done. Wait until after the ULURP process is done. Let me tell you, that is not when you fight this. You fight this now. You fight this now. You do not fight it later.
Okay, I hear you.
One more thing. It is very important. People are asking, what can you do? It is very important that you follow us, because we're going to get those goddamn documents. We're going to get, and we're not asking for 30 days, because we could have had those documents for a year, and we could have been analyzing those documents for a year. You need to hire experts. BBG, you need to start putting pressure on BBG to hire experts to look at what is being stated and push back against whatever statements that the Department of City Planning are saying. BBG needs to be in the forefront of this movement. They need to be taking their resources, and they need to be doing lawsuits, and they need to be hiring experts to look at these documents. And the people who follow BBG need to start putting pressure on BBG, because all BBG is telling you is wait until this application is certified and show up at a hearing. And let me tell you something, we've been in this game for a long time, and we have never seen any application stop once an application is certified. Once an application is certified, it is a done deal. Now, we have given you now the opportunity. We have given you the time. You now have time. And we're going to give you the opportunity to get this paperwork, to review this application. But it's your responsibility to force BBG to start acting like they are responsible and want to protect this garden, instead of doing a petition. An online petition and doing nothing else. We've done an online petition. Petitions do not stop rezonings. And they need to start putting their money where their mouth is. They need to start hiring experts. They need to start hiring attorneys, and they need to start doing their job. So if you love this garden and you want to protect this garden, then make BBG start doing something more than lip service.
Okay, now just for the record, since Nolan can't put all that in, are you saying that the two groups that filed a lawsuit was?
No, our people filed the lawsuit, but
I'm just saying,
MTOP and Flack are not on the lawsuit. I'm on the lawsuit. Michael Hollingsworth is on the lawsuit, and LaShawn Ellis is on the. Michael Hollingsworth is here in this meeting. He's running for city council. He's on that lawsuit, trying to protect this community. And LaShawn Ellis is on the war sheet. She's an arborist. So there's three people pro se, as always.
I got it, three. But we just need, and you filed that when, today?
We filed it yesterday, and we got our temporary restraining order signed today.
Okay, great.
Okay.
That's a good update. Okay,
that's right.
There was somebody here from, I can't remember the person's name, from the garden. Is that who?
Ethan. Yes, let's hear what Ethan has to say.
Okay, we're gonna mute you now, Lisa.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
Okay, where is he? I don't really see him. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Ethan, you want to say something?
I mean, look, obviously Alicia made a lot of, pointed remarks about the garden. I don't feel the need to respond to every single one of them. Suffice to say, obviously, we have been, campaigning around this issue for since before I have been in the position that I'm in now, which has been, I think something like 15 months. So, look, I think anyone who's been following what we've been doing knows that we've been on top of this. We've been fighting this. Obviously, we are here.
Ethan, can you say, everybody hasn't been here like for the last year and a half. Oh, can you say what your concerns were or are?
So yeah, obviously I'm much more able to speak to that. Our specific concerns are the height of the building. And I think by and large, the folks in this meeting are aware of that. This building is so very massive that it will in fact block it will block sunlight from hitting our conservatories for significant portions of the year. Counterintuitively, the winter is actually the period of time that we're most concerned about. It blocks a significant amount of sunlight in the morning. You know, some days we're looking at 4 hours. This would be completely and totally devastating to our conservatories. I see somebody in the chat just said glare. Glare is actually not really the issue. It's the full-on blocking of the sunlight. That's the real issue here. Hitting our conservatory. I mean, look, I don't, you know, maybe glare is an issue for somebody else. For us, it's the lack of sunlight that's the critical issue. You know, I've presented this to the board before at separate meetings. So, you know, if anyone has specific questions about what our concerns are, I'd be happy to, I would be happy to go into greater detail with them offline. I don't think I need to do that.
No, not okay.
With
Offline.
everyone.
Great. I just wanted everybody to know who you were. I would like one more other community person. There's so much in that chat, I don't even know who would be. Is there another community person that would like to speak? Could you put your name in the chat so I can recognize you? Okay, just Carol. Okay, I guess there's no one else that wants to speak. Okay.
I want to let you know we have a Assembly Member elect Farah Sufan-Forrest here.
You have who?
Our Assembly Member elect for the 57th District, who just won her election.
Oh, I was
okay.
trying to hear. I'm sorry, Pat. I was trying to hear. Is this the part where you say open it up to the floor? So I was.
Let's open it up to the community at this point. Yeah, for a minute. So if anybody wants to add anything or say anything, I'm listening. We're listening.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Pat. My name is Farah Forrest. I am the Assembly elect for District 57. I also am living right 1 block away from 960 Franklin. Now, I've followed the development, the story, and I've actually attended some court cases. I also live in the same building as Michael Hollingsworth, who's running for city council. And so some of the concerns are the same, which is once you start off shady, it kind of makes me think that you're going to end shady. And so from the beginning to the end, I just don't see how this development DCP has been forthright about their intentions, and they have been, you know, ignoring the community concerns and have been utilizing tactics that are just elusive and deceptive. I don't have a big lawyer word like Alicia, but it sounds deceptive. And so for that reason, I do not support this development. I do not think it is a solution that here in South Crown Heights is needed. Affordability is always a question. And then you have environmental impacts that are not being addressed. And that deeply, deeply concerns me. So I know in previous meetings, the old assembly member has said some things, but I'll tell you, a new assembly member is not supporting this. So I will be following MTOP. I will be, you know, if BBG reaches out to me, I will be encouraging them to work with the community to make sure that we protect our community and enhance on our community for the very people who are living in the community. So I'm excited to work with you guys, and it's an exciting time. So let's fight, guys.
Thank you so much. Okay, Michael, since you've been clapping your hands, you can say something.
No, I think Farah summed it up.
No, you gotta say something.
You know, we are, you know, like Farah said, we are 1 block away from this development. We know the effects of other developments, you know, like the Armory, I mean, at this point, everyone in this city, especially in districts and neighborhoods like ours, we know that these projects aren't for us. You know, they never provide the, you know, the real affordability that folks need. They lead to further displacement of our neighbors. And, you know, yeah, I mean, I'm tired of seeing my neighbors, you know, displaced, and this project would be displacement on steroids. And that's why I oppose it.
Okay, and it's supposed to be affordable housing and also, am I correct?
I mean, yeah, it's the, I mean, if you want to believe that, the
No,
level,
I'm just saying, I haven't seen anything, but that's
Yeah,
what it's supposed to be at this point.
yeah, I mean, we're always promised affordable, and then it's not really affordable for folks who actually live here. I mean, yeah, somebody said affordable for whom? I mean, it's a scam at this point. Anybody who's still believing anything these developers say, you know, I don't know what to tell you, but I for sure don't believe them, and that's why, again, I don't support that project. And if I'm fortunate enough to be the council member for District 35, and it comes across my desk, I will kill it dead.
I just want to point out that the initial application did target what you call the workforce option in the mandatory inclusionary housing program. And that targeted people who make between $100,000 and $135,000. So that was the affordable category that they want to build to. And as everybody knows, those are people who are not in crisis, you know, and they definitely do not represent our community. Our median income in our community is between 40 and 50,000. So the affordable category in that old application, and we have not gotten the revised application, so we don't know if that's changed, but the old application, definitely the affordable was no way affordable to us and would actually spur gentrification and displacement because it would be classified as luxury housing in our community.
Well, we don't know what's there yet. Any other person from the community? I don't see a name there. Okay, if there's nobody else. Well, anyway, I'm gonna call, somebody's waving their hands over there. Is it Barnes? Yeah, we got to
Good evening. Good
How
afternoon.
are you?
I'm fine. How's everyone? Hi, everyone. Hi, community. Yes, it is imperative, Madam Chair, very respectfully, that we do gather the information. We haven't gathered it. How do we review what we don't have? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah. How do you review what you don't have? If we wait until November 16th, we're dead in the water. We have to review it pre-certification to see exactly what's on that application, what's not on that application, the impacts of the environment, as well as the alleged community benefits and affordability. So I agree with Alicia. It is imperative that our community board put all kind of pressure on BBG. Do they have the applications, the EIS? Put as much, I don't like to, yeah, follow our lead and use your resources and your power to support the community and make BBG stand up. Say something, because we can't decide on what we haven't seen. We can't wait until the certification, then it's over. It's dead.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Okay, anyone else? Raise your hand in the.
No, you can't talk.
You see any other raised hands there? Okay.
Miss Boyd has re-raised her hand.
Miss Boyd, the only person in the community?
No, but if nobody else is gonna talk, I'm gonna talk. I think what's important is for people to really understand that is not a month that we are asking for in this lawsuit to review these documents. We would have had these documents for over a year if the Department of City Planning had obeyed the law, but they refused to. And the reason why they did it was they know how powerful it is and how powerful a community can be when they are prepared for an environmental impact. You have to be doing it simultaneously. You have to be hiring your own experts. You have to hire a glare expert. BBG is saying glare is not an issue. That's not true. One of BBG's own members stated on the record that glare is an issue. We were at that hearing. Maybe Ethan wasn't at that hearing, but we were at the scoping hearing when BBG said that glare is an issue. There needs to be an expert that looks at glare. There needs to be an expert that looks at shadows. There needs to be an expert that looks at water impacts. And this is how you challenge the city and stop them from moving forward with an application. Community benefits, we know, have a history of never being complied with because the language in a community benefit agreement is essential. And if they put certain types of language, we know that the community benefit is not enforceable in the court of law. That means if you can't enforce it in the court of law, it's not enforceable. We don't see that. We don't see the community benefits. We don't see the mitigating scenarios that they claim they're going to do to reduce the impact. And so the first thing that BBG needs to be doing is calling a press conference, demanding this information, and also hiring their own experts. Why? BBG has millions of dollars to sit there and renovate the garden, but they act like they have no money to sit there and fight this fight that's going to destroy the garden. Where's BBG's experts? Because they need to be having an arborist. They need to be having an architect. They need to be having a slew of people looking at these environmental consequences and creating their own studies so they could push back against the Department of City Planning's studies and their analysis that they are drawing the conclusion that no adverse effect is going to happen to BBG.
Okay, Ethan, do you want to respond? Okay, yes, no? You can I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, look, in terms of, in terms of making noise about this, again, like anyone who's been following the Fight for Sunlight campaign knows that we've made quite a bit of noise about this. Alicia, you could shake your head all you want. Yeah,
because there's no studies. You have to, if you can make noise all you want, you have to have studies. Where's your studies? Where's your money? Why don't you have studies?
No, I'm only going to listen to one at a time. At least you'll be muted for a minute so I can listen and then you can answer. Can you mute her, please? Because I can only listen to one person at a time. Go ahead.
No, that's all I have to say.
I don't mean what you said now because it was, what did you say? Okay. Okay. Michael, you want to say something?
Yeah, there's a member in the chat, I believe it's Roberta, who made a comment about, maybe Roberta might want to speak for herself, but I think she made a comment about how she's been a part of the Fight for Sunlight and they have never utilized them. So maybe we could hear from Roberta about what exactly is happening, if she wants to speak.
Hi, I'm Roberta. Hold on, I'm just trying to turn on my video here. Okay, there we go.
I can see you, Roberta.
You can, okay. You can't?
No, I can't.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, no, it keeps turning back off again. There we
Now I
go.
see you.
Okay, hello, everybody. I've been talking on the chat rather than speaking here because I'm a Brooklynite. I was born in Brooklyn and I went to, actually lived in the BBG. But I don't live in Brooklyn anymore, I live in Manhattan. And so I don't feel qualified in that respect, but I really, really care. Brooklyn is a piece of me and the BBG is a piece of me. And I've been on Fight for Sunlight almost since it first started, and there's been virtually nothing going on there. And people have been getting on to Fight for Sunlight and saying, is there news, is there news, is there news? And we get no response. And as soon as I saw this post today or yesterday, whenever it was, I jumped on this because it was the first thing we've been asked to do besides sign the petition, which was months and months ago. So it's very disturbing because this can't happen. And there's got to be some recourse.
Okay, thank you.
So that's all I have to say.
Ms. Bryan?
Thanks for asking.
Ms. Bryan, you want to say something? I can't hear it all.
Right, you're on mute.
You need to unmute yourself, Ms. Bryant.
She's unmuted. She might be having some technical issues.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I can't really hear
Yeah.
her.
Well, her microphone is back on, but there's no sound coming out.
Right, there's nothing coming
Ms.
out.
Bryan, you might have to leave and come back out. Your audio is not connected. Don't worry. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
Okay.
Can I hop in here and say something too, which is the reason why I joined CB9 and the reason why I, applied to be on the ULURP committee was because of this issue in particular. And I would, Ethan, I'm a BBG member. I love the garden. I'm there, before the pandemic, I was there almost every day. I can confirm what our community members here are saying tonight, which is, I tried reaching out to you when, and never heard anything. I asked the question way back in February, if those of us who lived in CB9, if it wouldn't be beneficial for us to apply to be board members. Nobody said anything. I just feel like, I know, and with all love and respect to Alicia, I know sometimes it can be a hard pill to swallow when somebody tells you the truth. But I'm here to say, as a member of the community who took action to get onto the community board, I would have loved to have more direct communication coming out of BBG about steps that we can take to actually do something beyond sign a petition. Because I really think that you've got a big community that cares a lot about the garden, and you've got a Facebook group, you've got a lot of things that you could be utilizing to get people to show up to, Alicia's done a ton of work to get a lawsuit together. Can we get members of the community to show up and say, like, we are here, and not wait till the very end when you show up and you give a sob story in front of the city council after these developers have already lined everyone's pockets. So I want to echo that, and also say, if you're having a hard time figuring out how to leverage that community, come find us. And I would be happy to help you figure out a way to leverage your community. It's, and get them doing what they need to, so that we can coordinate with everybody on CB9, at MTOP, at whatever, so that you can get the outcome that I know that you want.
Well, you don't know what we want, but
no, that I know that Ethan wants. That I know that. I'm assuming that if Ethan works for the Brooklyn Botanic Garden, he would like the towers not to be built.
I don't know what he would like. Just say you assume that's what he wants, okay? But anyway, you got that.
Ms. Moses, I have Farah with her hand raised to speak.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Thank you very much. Okay, to address what Erin and Ms. Barnes had said, as even before I was the Democratic nominee, and even now as the Assembly-elect, I've had multiple phone calls from different arts institutions, both in district and out of the district. And it is very interesting to me that no one from the Brooklyn Botanical Garden has reached out to me. And I'm not saying that it was like I'm hot or anything like that, but I'm just saying that once you win the Democratic nominee, it's kind of like, hey, let's talk to Farah and let her know this is how we care, this is what we care about. And let me tell you something. Before people from other places was coming to see Brooklyn Botanical Garden, Crown Heights went to see Botanical Garden. Fort Greene Park went to see Botanical Garden. And so that's something that, it is in the interest of the community to maintain it and maintain it in its what it was intended to be, which is a gift to the community. So I'm still waiting for BBG or me. You want me to call you? I'll call you. No problem. You send me that number right now. But I'm just saying, if you're saying that you've been making noise, I haven't heard the noise other than from attending, talking to Michael Hollingsworth, going to court cases and seeing Miss Alicia Boyd and the other young lady fighting the trial. Other than that, I have not heard anything from BBG about this, both after the primaries and even after the election day.
So look, I appreciate what you're saying. I apologize that we have not reached out to you. Please let me know the best way to get in touch. We would be absolutely happy to have you at the garden. Have you meet our new president, Adrian, and we can tell you a little bit about what we've been doing and how we've been working on the Fight for Sunlight and what we've been doing in the community generally, which I think you would enjoy hearing. So please, I will direct message you in the chat right now. I'd love to know the best way to get in touch so we can have you down.
To put my email in, it's public, so that anybody who has concerns regarding this 920, I'm interested. I'm 950 Franklin. I'm very interested to hear about it, and and especially people like Erin who want to be more involved or want to see how their future assemblywoman is going to work for them. Let me know. It's public information. Hit me up.
Okay, I'm gonna close that. I just want to know, is there anybody in this community? Is anybody from the press in the community? Chat here or anywhere? I see 65 people. So there's no one. I'm assuming there's no one here from. Normally we have someone from the press, but I guess there's nobody here at this point. Okay, if no one else has anything to say, we've done all we can. Well, I shouldn't say all we can do, but we've done what we were set out to do. What we the letter. I'm going to wait for a result from the letter, and I'm assuming that the outside group is going to go forward with their court appointment, and then we'll meet again. And as soon as I get an answer, I may call a meeting right away, as opposed to waiting to my next meeting, if that's okay with the people, So as soon as I get yes.
Right now, there's a temporary restraining order, so they can't certify the application, so they can't respond to your letter because the court is not going to allow that. So I see that Ethan has willingly accepting the invitation of the assembly people, the assembly person, but he has not extended that invitation to the members of the community that have been fighting on behalf of BBG. So my question right now to Ethan, are you going to invite MTOP and FLAC, the people who have been diligently working, to the meeting as well, so that we can meet the president, so we can hear all the things that you've been doing behind closed doors that we can't see, to effectively do something about this project? And I put quotes on effectively because a certified application is not very effective. So are you going to extend that invitation to us, the community, Ethan?
That's a very good question.
Alicia, you privately asked me for my information in the chat, and I gave it to you willingly. If you would like to set something up, let's talk, and we can figure that out.
That's not what I asked. That's not what I said. I'm asking, are you going, just like you sat there and said to our assemblywoman, are you going to invite us to meet with your president so that we can hear what you've been doing on behalf of BBG, and also start having a conversation with the activists who are actively working in the community that are affected?
I appreciate what you're saying. I think you're putting me on the spot, and I will leave it at that.
Of course we're putting you on the spot. I mean, BBG's responsibility is to protect the garden. You are its gardeners. You are the guardian of BBG. Of course we're putting you on the spot.
And get more on the spot than that.
Okay, we're not going. All right, so that's I'm assuming that they will be in touch
Sorry,
with,
Madam Chairman, I apologize. I respect your meeting. So.
but we don't want to argue back and forth, but I think everybody made their point. I would also like to meet the person. They have a new person there now. I would also like to meet that person. I have no clue as to who that person is. So if I would, you know, if you got in touch with, if you were able to set that up and then set it up for someone at least to come in from the Community Board 9 so that we could at least meet the person there. And on that note.
But he didn't answer.
Because he's muted.
Well, you might want to unmute him so we can hear his answer.
Okay. We can unmute him so we can hear his answer. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I would be happy to have our new president come out to a board meeting and meet everyone. I think that's a great idea.
Okay, then great. So we'll definitely let you know when the next board meeting is. I'll tell you, our next board meeting, now we may have an emergency meeting before that if something happens. But our next board meeting is December 8th. So you can put that in your calendar so that, you know, everybody has a lot of meetings, but December 8th, we expect to meet and hopefully we'll have some kind of answers or something. But now this is just to the, I'm gonna close this part out before we close out the meeting, but I want to say to committee members and if there's any other board members, don't forget that there's going to be training on Monday. Mia, can you tell them about the training on Monday? Is there some training on Monday?
The training that's scheduled for Monday is essentially for board membership.
Right.
We're going over the ULURP process as well as standard operating practices for the board in terms of how whether it is something as simple as a constituent inquiry to whether a committee takes on an issue such as this, how it's escalated through the board, through executive, through general board, and points of action.
So committee members and new
it's essentially for board members, but as always, our meetings are open to the public. So I'm assuming if anyone is interested in attending, they may do so. The information will be disseminated as all of our meeting information is every Friday to our community listserv. It'll be posted on our website, our social media. So if you're interested in attending, please do so.
And I'm basically talking to the new board members so that, you know, you ask questions here, but you'll be able to ask questions at the training. If you haven't attended the training, I've been attending the training for every year for 5 years. So I might still listen in case it's something new, but I'm not sure. So anyway, I want to close out the meeting. I want to thank everybody. And I think I got a lot of information. Well, he said bye. So I want to thank everybody for coming out, and we'll see you December 8th or before. We're done.
Thank you.
What time is it? 8? Oh, I got to tell, no.
It's 8:23 p.m. Nolan, and I'll be sending over the chair's correspondence to the committee after the meeting.
Hey, it's Warren. I make a motion to end the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can't say anything. They're muted.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank y'all.
What about LaShawn? You didn't let her speak. She raised her hand to speak in chat. She's been asking for quite some time. LaShawn.
LaShawn, sorry about that. Sorry if we.
Wait, so we have to listen to her.
Is she still here? LaShawn?
I saw her post several times in chat. She wanted to speak.
Oh, sorry about that. The chat has been going so fast. There's been so much activity in the chat. Sorry about that. LaShawn, if you're here, unmute yourself. Or if you have Ms. Boyd, tell LaShawn if she has any questions just to email the board, or if she has.
And if she comes to the next meeting, she'll be the first one to speak.
Yeah, she has the email. She has the email. She has anything that she needs to answer. Just email the board.
Okay, great. Thank you all. See you next
Thank
time.
you, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bedtime.
Yes, bedtime.